trending cause he's beating it like
I am previewing the Washington Redskins in this NFL season. The NFL season is near the corner. It's coming up and it's coming fast. And I'm excited for it. It looks like a lot of people are excited for it. So, let's get the show on the road. Before I start this is a new thing I'm doing. I'm probably going to do this for every team. I'm going to give my win-loss prediction, give them a preview, give them a fantasy outlook. So basically, for this video, I'm going to preview the Washington Redskins on their strengths and weaknesses of this roster, and my fantasy outlook of how the quarterback or the running back or the receivers, who's the best receiver, going to do as a fantasy football tip. And I'm going to give my 3 bold predictions and give my win-loss prediction, and we'll be out of here. So, you saw the intro. The Washington Redskins were only 1 game away from making it to the playoffs last season. They didn't win that game. They lost to the New York Giants. And a lot of people don't believe the Washington Redskins are going to make the playoffs this season. And, of course, a lot of Redskins fans say, not so fast otherwise. Here I'm going to give my preview. So let's start with the strengths and weaknesses on this roster. So the strengths, let's start with the secondary, the Conerbacks. This is a very good secondary. This was a good secondary last season, but this is a very good secondary with Josh Norman, D'Angelo Hall, Will Blackmon, and Quentin Dunbar, who had amazing seasons last season. And of course, you got the safety. They just signed DJ Swearinger. And I think they still have Brandon Mayweather. I need to check on that. But anyways, I like this secondary. I like this secondary of the Washington Redskins. The defensive coordinator of the Washington Redskins came onto the show and saying that the secondaries get better and better every day. And I truly believe that, because the thing with the Washington Redskins, their secondary has always been good. As I've noticed, a lot of people don't like to speak on this, but it's true. Their secondary is good. It's a good core. It starts with D'Angelo Hall. D'Angelo Hall is old. I know he's getting old, but he has a lot of experience. He still makes plays there and there. And they signed Josh Norman, which was a great signing. And of course, they have safeties like DJ Swearinger or Nate Allen. They have the secondary looks good right now. And I'll be very, for your Redskins fans, for the Redskins, their strength is the secondary. How about the other strength in the wide receiving core? I love this wide receiving core. They have Peter Garcon, they have Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Reed. They also draft a lot of good rookies, and they signed Terrell Pryor. They also drafted Josh Doxson out of TCU. I like this receiving core and this tight end core. I think that this is going to help the Redskins in this long season. And you gotta love it, and you gotta love the signing of Terrell Pryor. I thought Terrell Pryor would stay with the Browns, but he said go to the Redskins. A good signing, with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. The Redskins need this. Terrell Pryor is fast. He could catch. He's obviously good at the receiving core, and he could throw the ball if you want to do a reverse trick play of the receiving being the quarterback. He could do that as well. I like the signing of Terrell Pryor. So that's really all the strengths. Let's go with the weaknesses. Let's start with the quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Now, this was a guy that we've been questioning. Is he going to sign with the Redskins? Is he not going to sign with the Redskins? I think he did, but I think after this year, he might be out. He might be out. He might not be playing with the Redskins anymore, and I kind of get that. When you have a franchise quarterback like this taking you to the Super Bowl, it's taking you to consecutive playoffs, and you don't want to sign him, you have to sign Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is probably the reason why you're even good, or your offense is even good, because you need that quarterback. Since RG3, who kept getting injured, Kirk Cousins just came back and took the load. Now, he wasn't perfect in his rookie or sophomore season, but as he went on, he started to improve, and he started to have a good season. When the Redskins made it to the playoffs, I called that. I said Kirk Cousins was going to have a good season. A lot of people didn't believe me, guess what? He's having a good season, and this season he might not have a good one. He doesn't like this team. He doesn't like the players. He has the chemistry is off. He just doesn't like what's going on the field and off the field as well. So a lot of problems with Kirk Cousins. Don't be surprised if he does bad this season. And also there's quarterback depth of Colt McCoy and Nate Sudfeld. No, please. No. Even though Colt McCoy was good for a game, I don't believe in this quarterback depth. I don't like this quarterback depth. Another weakness, the running back. There's no good running backs over here. Robert Kelly, who everybody loves for some reason, is nicknamed Fat to Rob. He only had a couple good games last season. One great game and a couple of alright games. All in all, he was just bad. He's a disappointment. He's still a disappointment, but, Redskins look to him as their number one running back. I know you drafted Samaje Perine, but I don't think that Samaje Perine, he's alright. He'll get you some yards there and there, some touchdowns there and there. He might have 3 or 4. That's nice to see from Samaje Perine, but you can't expect that guy you drafted at the 5th round be the first string. You can't. And Matt Jones and the Roberts dude, this running back core is not good for the Redskins. And one more weakness was the defensive line. A lot of people like the defensive line. The Redskins, I don't. There's no edge rushers in this defensive line. There's none. There's no evidence to prove it. There's no edge rushers. No one's not going after the quarterback. Now, they're pretty good against the run. Yeah, they're pretty good. But all in all, you need sacks and you need deflections. And this defensive line cannot get you this. So I don't really like this Redskins defensive line. I don't know why a lot of people do so, especially Redskins fans. But that seems to be the case. I don't like this defensive line. And I thought they were going to get Calais Campbell or Elvis Dumerville. But they had none. They just focus on Kirk Cousins and the coaching, which is pretty ridiculous. And I think that's the strength and weaknesses. I know the offensive line is a strength and is a weakness. Like the offensive line, they do a great job protecting Kirk Cousins, and they do. They do a great job of protecting Kirk Cousins. But when it comes down and when they need to make a clutch play, they're not. Last season against the Giants, Kirk Cousins kept getting hurried. And when he had pressure, he just kept throwing interceptions. Now, granted, the Giants' defense was good, but come on, you gotta protect Kirk Cousins when it comes down to the wire. They don't do that. Their strength, they can protect Kirk Cousins, sure. Weakness, they can't protect him down to the wire. So there's their strength and weaknesses. Kirk Cousins, how is Kirk Cousins gonna do this season? I don't think he's not gonna do that good, guys. I really don't. And this might come as a shock to you. It doesn't come as a shock to me. He doesn't like this team. He doesn't like this, this plays, the chemistry. He just doesn't like it. He doesn't. And apparently off the field, he doesn't like it too. My fantasy outlook, he'll probably have 1,000 yards, sure. But he's got to throw 16 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And you don't like that. Get it? You like that? Okay. The running back, Samaje Perine, I think will be the best running back. He's got to have close to 900 rushing yards. He's got to have close to 900 rushing yards. He's got to have 4 touchdowns. And he's got to play a big factor in the receiving game as Kirk Cousins does not do well. In the receiving core, now there's a lot of good receivers, but I think that Terrell Pryor is going to come out. Terrell Pryor, like I say, he's fast. He's got to get wide open. And he's very good. This is a very good player. And he's got to have at least... He's got to have 990 receiving yards. He might get 1,000, but I'm not making it that far. But watch out for Terrell Pryor. Now, my bold predictions. Number 1, the Redskins will not make the playoffs this season. That's my one bold prediction. Bold prediction number 2, Preston Smith. Now, this guy's a linebacker, but Preston Smith, I believe this is his year. Preston Smith, if you don't know about him, he's got to have 10 sacks. 10 sacks plus more. And he's got to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. Third bold prediction. I expect Kirk Cousins to sit on the bench at least week 12. Like I said, Kirk Cousins doesn't like this team. And don't be surprised if he gets benched. And maybe Colt McCoy will start to take his job being the next Kirk Cousins, or Nate Sudfeld will just be there to screw things up. So, as you look at this Redskins schedule, I told you, in the first bold prediction, I'll have this team make it to the playoffs. Their schedule is way too tough. And I understand last season their schedule was way too tough and they almost made it to the playoffs. But this time, I want to believe that they're going to make the playoffs. I'll start now. Normally, I would go game by game, but, it's way too early to predict wins and losses, in each game. So I'm going to go by chunks. Let's start with the NFC East, their own division. This is a very tough division. I expect this to go a split, but they could get swept by the Cowboys. I expect them to go at least 3-3. 4-2 would be a stretch. 2-4 most likely, but I'll go 3-3. 3-3. I mean, it's the NFC East. It's going to be competitive. Now they go up against the AFC West, and it's going to be pretty tough there. They host the Raiders. They host the Broncos. They go at the Chiefs, and they go at the Chargers. It's gonna be tough. I can see a 3-1 here. Could go 2-2. Actually, I'm predicting 2-2. So, because this is tough. Like, they go at Kansas City, that's probably an L, and hosting Oakland, that's gonna be tough. And they might have easy games in Denver, Los Angeles, but it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. The NFC East. They go against the NFC West. They go at the Seahawks. They host the 49ers. They host the Cardinals. They go at the Rams. I could see a 3-1 here, a 2-2 possibly. I'm predicting 3-1. I think they'll have a good time with this division. And they could, I expect their first loss to be at Seattle, but they could beat the Cardinals and probably beat the 49ers and Rams. So I'm predicting that. So far I have this team going 8-6, and they also versed the which place did they win last year? They went third. So they went third. So they had to verse, since they went third, they had to verse the third place teams from the NFC South and the NFC North. The NFC South being the New Orleans Saints, and the NFC North, I believe, is the Vikings. Am I right? Yeah, it's the Vikings. So I could see a split. But they could also get swept. I expect them to beat the Vikings and lose against the Saints. So all in all, I have this team going 9-7. Best case scenario, if they get lucky, 10-6. If they get lucky, this is a tough schedule, and like I said, Kirk Cousins might screw it up for them. Worst case scenario, they go 6-10. They go 6-10. But we'll see. We'll see at the Washington Redskins. I don't have them making it to the playoffs. The pieces fit together, but they won't work together. They won't work together at all. They're gonna focus way too much on the defense, which is gonna be a problem. And you may expect Kirk Cousins to be benched. You may expect Kirk Cousins to be benched, and you could potentially see a coaching fire of Jay Gruden. You could potentially see it. I doubt it, but you could potentially see it. So there you go. That's my predictions for the Washington Redskins. What are yours? Comment down below. Like the video. If you like it, please subscribe. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do this for all NFL teams. I'm not going to, because I might not have time, or I just probably won't do it. But I'll do my favorite team, the Oakland Raiders, of course, if I have time. But other than that, there's 32 NFL teams. I'm probably not even gonna do that, and I'm probably gonna make my final prediction. FYI, these aren't my final predictions of each team. Like, right now, the Redskins are going 9-7. Who knows, mate? Because I'm going to do my final prediction before week 1 of the regular season. Because, of course, we've got preseason. I'm going to see how each team does. And who knows, Redskins might go down from there. They might decrease from there. But, yeah, comment down below what you think the Redskins are going to do. Comment down below what you think of this video. Please leave a like. Please subscribe. And until next time, this is Sports Talk TV. And I'm out. Peace.